This week, we've got bills upon bills upon bills, and no, not the money kind, the legal kind. The United States Senate wants to take back the skies from the FAA. Florida might allow citizens to legally shoot down drones. A man is facing charges after he launched a firework at a police drone, and Insta360 has launched their X5 action camera. Oh, and of course, there's more leaks about the Mavic 4 Pro. My name's Ian, this is Drone News, and we've got a lot to talk about, so let's get started. A new drone bill is drawing concern for US pilots, and it's kind of insane what they're proposing, so let's talk about it. Senate Bill S-1249 would allow local and state governments to have control over airspace up to and including 200 feet above the ground, and that means cities, states, and tribal governments could set their own drone rules within the range of that 200 feet. Under the bill, private property owners would also gain control over the airspace directly above their land, and you'll see why later in this episode. We can only imagine how things are going to turn out with this. So what does it mean for drone pilots? Well, it means that you might need permission to fly over someone's property, even if you're just flying by, and it would effectively mean that flying would become a big maze while you're trying to dodge private property rules. The bill proposes that the FAA would still have authority over airspace above 200 feet, which would keep higher altitude drone operations under national control. As of now, the bill has not been passed into law, thankfully, but if it does move forward, it could have a major impact on drone operations across the United States. Russ from 51 Drones just put out a video about this that dives deeper into the topic, and we'd recommend you go check it out. We'll have the link down below. If you're in the market for a new drone, then we've got some potential bad news for you. Recently, users on Reddit have reported a shortage of DJI Enterprise drones, and some have even started to speculate that could be the start of the drone apocalypse. Just a couple days ago, Reddit user Asmodeus Berlin posted this screenshot of the DJI Matrice 4 Enterprise drone, showing it's not available in their country. It's kind of an odd thing to see on a random Wednesday. Us Canadians seem to be still able to get the goods though, for now. The user was also quick to point out that the Air 3S battery had been price hiked up to $245 US from a regular price of around 125 US. So the question is this a result of some messy website updates, or is this a reaction to the China-US tariff relations back and forth, tete-a-tete, that somehow us Canadians have managed to kind of sidestep a little bit for now? In more legal news, Florida has never been more Florida, with a proposed bill that would let property owners use reasonable force to deal with drones flying all over their land. Well, what does reasonable force mean? We're not really sure, but we are talking about Florida after all. This bill would expand Florida's drone rules, making airports and prisons no-fly zones, and the real controversy, property owners would be allowed to take matters into their own hands if they see a drone that's flying below 500 feet. Of course, they're going to have to justify it with a reasonable expectation of privacy, but this could result in a whole lot of trouble. As for now, of course, shooting down any aircraft, which includes drones, clearly violates FAA rules, and doing so would result in a hefty fine or up to 20 years in federal prison. It's not just us, of course, that's concerned about this. Senator Jason Pizzo voiced his concerns in a committee hearing that said he didn't want people to just go around and start shooting drones down from the air. Despite all this, the bill is cruising through Florida's committees and with little resistance. If it does actually pass and make it through to the full Senate, then it would be a legal disaster in my opinion, and could be in effect as soon as October 2025. So let's raise some concern about this. Of course, what's most concerning to me is the legal precedent supersede federal aviation laws, which again, as discussed above before this, means the airspace that drones can freely navigate now, as long as they follow FAA rules, will come into serious question and become a giant regulatory mess. And in case your feed isn't already flooded with camera influencers, you might not know that the Insta360 has just launched on the X5, and it's the latest action camera in their lineup. It's able to capture 8K 360-degree video just like its predecessors, but this time uses a larger 1/1.28-inch sensor for better low-light performance when filming at night. And of course, it also has more AI. One really interesting feature as an X3 and X4 user is that the X5 now lets you swap lenses, so there's no more sending it back to Insta360 for repair, and no ugly lens protectors that are going to mess up your shot on the edges of the frame. The X5 also offers a few minor upgrades like better battery life and faster processing times. Plus, as I mentioned, it now has 3 onboard AI chips that empower the low light mode, as well as a single frame tracking mode that lets you capture both a 2D image like a regular action camera, as well as a 360-degree image simultaneously. If you already own an X3 or an X4 action camera, these feature changes may not be wholly compelling reasons to upgrade, unless you've got a need for a bump in resolution or the low light capability capabilities. But if you're looking to get into the 360 action camera game, Insta360 is really the only option at the moment, with DJI's rumored Osmo 360 still not materializing and GoPros being like, what, half a decade old at this point? Let us know what you think though, and if you're going to be picking one up. For a more in-depth review, there's a bunch of sponsored YouTubers out there that I like to watch, so I'll link them down below. Recently in Thunder Bay, officers were busy searching for a missing person when a 54-year-old resident came up to them and complained about the drone being up in the air. Despite officers clearly explaining why the drone was there in the first place, the man still wasn't happy about it and decided to launch a firework directly at the aircraft. Luckily, the operator was able to zig and zag and avoid contact, just like it was on a trench run heading for the reactor exhaust on the first Death Star. The man was later charged with obstructing police and damage to an aircraft. And to be clear, in Canada and of course in the United States, drones are considered aircraft, and interfering with them, regardless of the circumstances, is not a good idea, and it's also a federal crime. If you're interested, we've got a whole podcast that dives into everything you need to be aware of if you have an encounter with a bystander, and hopefully you don't end up like this guy. Like, don't get yourself shot at. Earlier this week, Reddit user Tom Chai posted some images showing the result of a Mavic 3 and a test version Mavic 4 trying to occupy the same airspace at the same time. And you can imagine how that ended. That's right, someone had been flying a Mavic 3, probably spying on the testers, and crashed into the Mavic 4 while it was being tested out at DJI. By the looks of it, it was quite the event, and it took place in something that no one really saw coming, especially not the drone operators. As for the drone, it's pretty much toast and will probably be sent back to DJI's secret testing facility, so let's just hope that this doesn't happen again. Or maybe we want to, so we know more about it, or they just release it finally. We've also got some new images of the RC Pro 2, which we're predicting, of course, will launch with the Mavic 4 Pro. Speaking of launch dates, we're now hearing that the Mavic 4 Pro is rumored to launch on May 13th, but who knows at this point, really? Like, let's see if things get pushed back again. I wouldn't sell your existing fleet before these drone chickens have hatched fully. Today's episode is brought to you by Coastal Drone Co., that's us, your trusted resource for drone certification in Canada and the USA. If you're going to pick up a new drone, you'll probably need to get a license to go with it. After all, you wouldn't want to get caught flying without one. We've trained nearly 20,000 drone pilots, helping them get their basic, their advanced, their Part 107, and soon now their Level 1 complex pilot certificate, so that you can fly confidently in Canada and around the world. We offer online or in-person training so you can feel confident throughout your entire journey as a drone pilot, for fun or for work. Wherever and however you're flying, our courses will guide you through everything that you need to know. So check out the links down below or visit us at coastaldrone.co to take your flying to the next level. If you can find it, DJI's Easter Sale runs until April 27th, so let's break it down real quick here. The DJI Mavic 3 Pro Fly More Combo is on sale now for $23.79, which is down from $27.99 regular pricing. The Osmo Action 4 is also discounted by about 28%, now $214 down from $299, and the Osmo Mobile 6 for your phone is now just $99, and this is all US dollars, of course. With flying season kicking into full swing here, and before things really get crazy, you know, tariffs, etc., it might be a good time to pick up a new piece of gear, especially if you can get a good deal on it. But remember, you don't always have to have the latest and greatest gear to get a good shot. DJI usually does a few of these sales throughout the year. We're probably looking at this being some sort of inventory clear out in anticipation for the Mavic 4 Pro launch coming soon. In local news, Vancouver's North Shore search and rescue teams have now turned to drones to help them when locating missing people. While drones won't replace ground teams, of course, it'll allow them to find subjects faster and give them a better understanding of what challenges they might face as they're trying to get to the location. The team's setup cost around $40,000 and was fully funded by donations. And by the looks of it, they're kitted out with a couple of Mavic 3 Enterprises and one of the original DJI Avatas. Grant Baldwin, one of the operators, recently used the tech to locate a hypothermic hiker who had been stranded in sub-zero temperatures, like -6 degrees or 21 Fahrenheit, for up to 9 hours. The thermal camera on the Mavic 3 Enterprise was crucial in locating the subject, and Baldwin seems pretty excited about the implications the technology could have during their future missions. The team's pilots are fully certified under Transport Canada regulations, giving them the green light to fly at a moment's notice. The North Shore Mountains are pretty treacherous, and with how many people get lost or get hurt on a regular basis, it's no doubt that drones are going to be able to save that critical first response time. We've seen other search and rescue teams adopt drones into their missions, so it's great to see the local teams doing the same. If your local community has a SAR department and you're a drone pilot, maybe you should consider getting involved and helping from above as a volunteer. If you've not flown in the backcountry before, we've got a whole podcast that dives into everything that you need to know to not get eaten by a bear in Canada's suburbs, aka our wilderness, and you can check it out in the links below. That's it for this week. Be sure to catch our podcast this Sunday where we'll dive into everything you need to know about the new Level 1 complex drone laws. That's right, it's a big info session with lots of slides and notes about how to get certified at this new level. In the meantime, check out last week's episode where we answered all of your questions regarding drone regulations. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.